This is what a beat sounds like on day one versus making music for months. Same tools, same software, but a completely different result. Here's exactly what changes and how to get there faster. First, let's jump into the day one beat. The main thing here was it was just clicked in, no rhyme or reason, no frame of reference for the type of notes that we're using. It's just whatever does not sound terrible. Also, there's no focus on the timing of the notes and when they come in order to create that cohesive effect within the song. Also, just clicking through the sounds to find something that they like. There's no purpose as to why they're picking the sounds. It's just that it sounds cool. About this and maybe hold it out. Break this up and move it down one. And then they might know the basics of how their favorite drum sounds, so they might put a kick in here. And then maybe we'll add a little clap here. They might test out some of the default sounds that are already listed here. And then they might put in a piano here. They create the individual pieces of the song without listening to the whole thing in context. Okay, so here is the first day beat, and we'll go through what the problems are with each portion of these step by step. There's definitely a lot of potential with this. The big gap is having the knowledge and understanding of why you do what you do and why you make the choices you do when making music. Let's go ahead and turn this into something a bedroom producer would make after a few months of making music. Want the shortcut? My beginner program is in the description below. It's hard to rebuild something where the structure is already faulty. And the big thing with the first timer beat is that there is no structure. What do I mean by structure? No frame of reference for what notes sound good together 100% of the time. So we're gonna pick that first. I'm actually going to pick that within the guitar. I can see that the notes tend to the G major scale, and that has G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. I'm going to adjust the notes within this current tune in order to make that change. Another skill that a bedroom producer would develop after a few months is the importance of sound language. So sound language is when a song needs repetition and it needs variation within the song in order to keep their beat engaging. So here's how we can do that. First off, I'm going to delete the second half of the melody here, and we're going to start off with this part. Speed this up a little bit, but condense it down or within one measure. Then we can just repeat that and then do it like a third time. And then in each instance, we can change up the notes a little bit. Here is a melody that a bedroom producer might make. Notice how much catchier it is, how much more planned it sounds. The bedroom producer will know this is a melody. They'll know that this Bethulu is going to be more of a bass because it lies on the lower end of the sound spectrum. Since it is a bass, we want it to complement the melody rather than overtake it. Now, another thing that bedroom producers tend to do is look at what else is going on within their song and use that information to create the rest of it. Now, here's what I mean. They turn on these ghost notes, and then when they turn that on, they see the other notes within the pattern that they're working with. They make their decisions based on that. So since I know this melody starts on an E, I want the bass to start on an E. Knowing more about how different notes can work together makes all the difference. Another thing that bedroom producers do is layer instruments. Layering is when you repeat the notes of an instrument on another instrument in order to give it a new sound. Do this with our bass, and then they're just going to duplicate. Then the next thing that they're going to do, they are going to add additional elements that do not compete with the rest of the song. Here's what I mean. In the first timer, we had the piano that was really not adding into the initial beat, but we're going to fix that here. Now, a couple options, we could add chords, which are groups of notes playing at the same time, or we could add little sprinkles of individual notes. I'm going to choose the chord route. Ooh, notice how that sounds that much different already. And they know when to utilize silence in order to add to the song. So notice how there's a gap in the chords here, and I'm actually going to shorten these chords as well so that there's room for the song to breathe. With drums for bedroom producers, there are a lot of different variations that they can work with. A general type is the 4 on the floor beat, where the kick is just playing every beat. We'll add the claps here as well, and that's on every 2 beats. And then we'll add a hi-hat here, that's every 2 steps. This is a nice pattern to copy. Bedroom producers split everything up so that they can fine-tune different elements of their song and make little differences here and there. Just drag these here. Get a fun little gradient. And we're gonna duplicate this, and I'm gonna get rid of the drums first. They're going to be able to feel when a part of a song needs to repeat again in order for it to feel complete when listening. And they also know when to add additional elements within the song as well as take them away. Bedroom producers also know where to add transitions. And then where to remove certain elements in order to add additional oomph. Here are the levels of beat making, first timer versus the bedroom producer. If you're at or near the first timer step and you want to get to this, I do have a full beginner program linked in the description that goes through everything you need to know in order to make your first full song. If you're interested, check out the link in the description.